I think the answer is it is definitely possible. There's no certainty of it, but given the craftiness and the point you were just making, look at the story in Genesis. You've got Eve, she's coming by, and a serpent is talking to her, and they're carrying on a conversation. Do you get the impression that she's stunned? Like, there's nothing about, oh my word, an animal's talking to me. What in the world is going on? You just get the impression this is not even worth commenting on. Yeah, the animal talked to her. Well, if one animal talked to her, and then the question is, did the animal talk to her only because it was possessed by Satan? Well, then I would think one would be very suspicious that this animal is talking. You know, whoa, animals don't talk. You don't get that feeling at all. Not at all. So if we as human beings became greatly degraded through our fall, I don't think we have any idea of how smart Adam and Eve were. Now, their body of knowledge, obviously, when you're first created, is pretty small, right? But then you learn. If we use our brain 10%, let's say they used it 100%. Why not? In perfection, God made the brain to be used, right? They were so much smarter, so much. I'm confident of that. So, let's say they were 10 times smarter than we are. It actually might be a lot more than that, but let's say 10 times. Well, what if animals were 10 times smarter? What if, like, was it a gorilla that had the vocabulary of 450 words that could be not spoken but signed and highly specific and articulate? And obviously you got dolphins and whales, and you got other types of animals with definite vocabularies in their own form. So if they were 10 times smarter, could they have a vocabulary of thousands and tens of thousands of words? Could they at one time have had, in an unfallen state, the equivalent of vocal cords that could articulate more than a bark or growl or whatever? I guess, certainly it's possible. In the world I'm not saying I know that to be true. I don't. But I'm saying there's a biblical basis for asking the question because of what we see with the serpent talking and just the nature of falling on our coattails and then rising on our coattails in the resurrection. And if we will be made many, many, many more times smarter than we are now, and that's a given, that would have to be, and how many more times would that be than Adam and Eve were? And if once again animals will be made just benefiting from our resurrection far greater, is it possible that animals will talk? Is it possible? Now I know this is on video, okay, but is it possible that we will carry on a conversation with a pet that we once had on earth? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying it's possible when you're talking about God and when you're talking about these biblical hints and indications. Well, they're more than hints about the animals and God's care and love for animals. And Romans 8 is more than hints about the whole creation that's going to benefit from the resurrection of God's children. Because if that's true, and it is true, then it just flat means that there are people suffering on the earth who are not human that will be there on the new earth. And I don't know who that would be but animals. So I don't think it's that big of a stretch.